Hello YouTube. Well, I'm trying another hobby out. Deciding I wanted to try candle making, and this is my second time doing it. I've made some candles before. The other day I did this and made 6 beeswax candles. So today I'm going to make a few more, another 6. And this is the mold that I got from Townsends. This is their smaller, shorter candle mold. The wicks are all tied off, and what you do is I'll put a link to their video that shows you how to do all of the steps, because it's pretty time consuming to explain it. The one thing I'll tell you I did differently than using modeling clay to stop off the bottom of the candles where the wax is poured is I instead went with Play-Doh. Works just as well, and it's a lot cheaper and easier to get than trying to find modeling clay. You can get Play-Doh pretty much anywhere. And a little ladle like this here, I got this at Dollar General for like a few bucks. This actually comes with more attachment, but I just really wanted this part. So let's move over here. This is my fire where I got my wax melting. It's pretty much all melted now. This is solid straight beeswax. And basically what you do is pour one candle at a time and just try to do it as neatly as you can, and I'll see how this works here, and I'll show you how this is done. Just pour in gentle, real careful like here. And you get just about to the top. If it goes over a little bit, that's not a big deal. I found it really isn't that hard to break the candle out, and I will finish pouring the rest and show you what that looks like. One thing I recommend too is when you fill your mold, move it to the shade. I had a little bit of spillage here, nothing big. All the cavities are still full. That was from earlier. What I would tell you is move it out of the sunlight, even though it's going to start cooling. The sunlight, it does not take a lot to melt wax, only 150 degrees. So if you leave the mold and you leave it in the sun, it will take much longer to harden up. So move it over here, and you can already see the top of the mold. You can see we're just after a couple of minutes, it's starting to solidify. It'll be about a half hour before I can pick this mold up and safely move it, and then I will put it in the refrigerator, not in the freezer. The problem putting it in the freezer is if it cools too quickly, the candles will crack, and that's what a lot of people warn about. I also sprayed the inside of the mold with a little bit of Pam, actually the cheap alternative to like a cooking spray. Very, very little. You do not need a lot. And that does seem to help with the mold release with the beeswax. Because once you remove your wax from the heat, I will leave this pan here to cool off until it's pretty much solid or close to it. And then I will bring it in and I will put it like this on a stove. And the reason I do that is because even when the wax is solidified, because it is such a heavy amount, this started off as 2 pounds, there's probably about a half a pound left there. It took about 3 hours to where you could actually really safely touch the pan without a lot of heat coming off it. So when you melt your beeswax, don't think, when you have a large amount like this in a pan that basically is a metal pan that kind of reflects the heat back, that you can just take it and put it somewhere. Right here on a nice stone slab, it's not going to hurt anything, it's not going to go anywhere, it's just not going to blow or fall off. Now it'll stay here till it solidifies. But don't just put this stuff anywhere in this pan once it's hardened up, because it will still be very, very hot, and you can have the risk of burning something. This is from my first batch, the very first candles I did. These are the first 6 candles I made. And out of the same beeswax, same mold, pretty much everything was done the same. And as you can see, looking at the one, it's burning pretty well. It burns very nice, very consistent, very nice smell to beeswax. I think it's actually a better smell when it's melted, when you're making the candles. I think that has a very, very nice smell to it. Very nice smell when it's burning too. But You know, there you go. There's, you know, it's not hard to make these. I will say, if you do buy a mold and decide to make candles like this, shop around for the beeswax. I see beeswax going from anywhere from $12 a pound. I've seen it as low as $12 a pound. Or excuse me, $20. Yeah, $20 a pound to $12 a pound. It can be expensive, and figure a mold like this, you're probably, one of these shorter candle molds, you may get 6, maybe 7 of these candles per pound of beeswax, provided you don't overuse a lot of it, you don't have any issues. I probably, after 2 pours, will make 12 candles. I'm going to say I may have half a pound of beeswax left. So I'm not sure how many more candles I will get. Probably, I'm going to try, not today, but I'll let it cool today. Maybe another day or so, try to see if I can get the rest of that wax and see what how many more I can make. Probably maybe 3, hopefully 4 more. But I don't think there's a lot of wax. There's definitely not enough wax to make 6. There's not another 6 candles there. So even if I get, say, 15, 16 candles for a pound of wax, that's, you know, I'd like to get more, but it is what it is. I did just order beeswax, and you see them in pellets, and it's the same thing. It's not a block. I'm going to try them. It's supposedly all organic. That was the cheapest I could find it, and that was $12.95 a pound. And that there was free shipping on that off eBay. I'm going to try that to see how that worked. This wax here came with the mold and the kit from Townsends. And Townsends sells their wax at $20 a pound, roughly. I see a lot of it in blocks going for that. Again, I would just say shop around. But so far, this burns really well. It looks really well. I will eventually try paraffin. I've been told paraffin candles are much easier to make than these, but we will see. And that being said, it's not really hard. It is more preparation in getting the candle mold ready, threading the wicks, tying them off, putting the Play-Doh or modeling clay, whichever one, on the bottom. I'll show you a photo of that, so that the wax doesn't come pouring out. There's more preparation in that than actually melting the wax and pouring it. It takes, once the wax is melted, it's no more than a couple of minutes to fill all the cavities, and then, put it aside.